Respected Mataji, ladies and gentlemen. Now the hall is absolutely short, for the group to get inside. Doesn't matter wherever you are. Mother's attention is very much on every one of you. And on top of it, when I spoke about an hour back over here, prior to the meditation which we had, I said it is every individual who has to pay attention to himself. The experiment which we did over here in this afternoon, in the last meditation, has proved that you people can go very deep into meditation. This proves that there is a quality. And I have used the word in English language as you are very good seekers, which is very, very rare. The whole thing started with questioning. I know, and I expressed it earlier also, that questioning has never ended in the life. As soon as the ego developed, the I developed, we started questioning our parents, we started questioning our friends, our relatives, and the people whom we knew. And we started questioning Mataji also. In fact, in India, as I narrated a few of my little experiences, we did not get such deep meditation blessings as you people have got here in Australia. The credit certainly goes to you, but much more to the group of Australians who organized this program, and the blessings of Mataji which flew and through right up to you. In India, we had a problem of absolutely different nature. As a staunch Hindu, I would have never thought of Christianity or even for that matter Jesus. But when we read our own ancient books, everything has been explicitly clearly made out. It has been explained that when you get a state of thoughtless awareness, you cannot get it by anything. Let anybody try any other method and you will not get thoughtless awareness in a human being. This we call in our language Nirvichar Samadhi. This Nirvichar Samadhi comes to you because of the Adi Shakti. This aspect of Adi Shakti we found in Mataji. And therefore there was no question. When the state of thoughtless awareness came,
कुंडलिनीचं सांगा कारण यांच्याकडे मेस्मरिझम आहे ना, त्याच्यामुळे ते विल नॉट अंडरस्टँड. यू सी ही इज सो क्लिअर कट, बट ही नोज द डिफरन्स बिटवीन द मेस्मरिझम अँड द निर्विचार समाधी. So it's better to tell the other way around, I said, because you see, they are clear cut, you see, but you do not know that part. That's why. You don't know. They confuse Nirvichar Samadhi with mesmerism. Also, you see.
Well, if you are mesmerized and got the Nirvichar Samadhi, the greatest difference will be Kundalini will be frozen as it should be.
But therefore, Mataji समोर कुंडलिनी उभी राहते. ते पाहिजे असं सांगा.
अगोदरच्या मेडिटेशन मध्ये सांगितलं.
पण आता परत सांगा, म्हणजे त्यांना समजेल की कुंडलिनी फ्रोझन कशी ओळखायची. त्यांना कन्सेप्ट नाही ना. Because this is not explained in your any books, how will you know? You see that mesmerism, what happened? You see, and what is a Kundalini awakening, and with Kundalini awakening you get Nirvichar Samadhi. You see, means crossing of the Agya. It's not possible without the primordial mother being there. She's the only one who can do it. It's precisely said. In our mass basis, though, it's out of question, anybody else. It's very clearly, I mean, books after books are written like this.
And Indian scriptures are full of these things. But when the Kundalini rises, by collective consciousness, one can feel that, well, in a particular person, if I can see where is the state of Kundalini, whether it has risen or not, whether the thoughtless awareness is felt or not. This has to happen by the grace of Adi Shakti. And we have found out ourselves that it is because of Mataji this has happened. If Mataji was not there, this would have never happened. And therefore we feel that Kundalini awakening is a must. After Kundalini is awakened by the grace of Mataji, you should get the thoughtless awareness state in your own total freedom. There cannot be a bias to it. If there is a bias, Kundalini will not again rise. And all these expressions which we have felt, this can be seen by another Sahaj Yogi. That is why Mataji, in my first lecture, I told them that first of all, rather than questioning, you go into the meditation and feel where is your Kundalini. Can you feel your Kundalini? If you can't feel your Kundalini, something is wrong with you. Find out what it is.
He is at that level, Actually, his Modi is at a very high level also.
Mother, but many of them have felt it. They have found out their chakras. They have found out the defects. Of course, this 50% of the group was not here. When the first meditation program was there, 50% of the group had probably gone to Gurunga and they were not over there. So this is more or less a repetition for them.
You see, it's good. What he's saying is true, but you see, the thing is, they do not have ego problems. This is the main thing he doesn't know. What happens when you are mesmerized or you are ego pampered? You see, you cannot differentiate because basically they know that the Kundalini has to rise. Now, how do you know there is Kundalini rising? That they should must feel cool breeze on the back. You see, so they know it is Kundalini has risen. You see, anybody whose Kundalini is risen, they know that it is risen. Whether I am there or not to tell them is not the point. But they know it is the cool breeze that shows. You see, here the people can even doubt that. You see, because basic knowledge you don't have, na? This is the basic problem, you see. They are at that level, they know most. You see, they know what is what. Supposing you know what is Australia. Alright, then you know this is the place you have landed, this is the place. But you don't know about it, you've never heard about it, people have not even heard the name of Kundalini. What it is supposed to be. You see, so many people thought Kundalini was the horoscope. Yeah. With such people, when you are talking, then they have doubts, isn't it? This is the problem. But in the India, you see, people know that I awaken Kundalini, that they know I am the Adi Shakti, and they know everything, but they do not have the desires as you have to be awakened. This is the problem. That's why his meaning, they are very deep. They are seekers. And there we don't have seekers. It's like when you have teeth, you don't have food. When you have food, you don't have teeth. This is the thing. So when he is saying that, you see, he is saying from that level where the understanding is complete for Indians. Anybody who is brought up with Indian culture, who knows something about Indian philosophy and Indian things, who knows, who is a Hindu in the sense that he has studied Adi Shankaracharya, who was the founder of Hinduism at that time. If he has read him, then he knows for definite that this is this. You see, they know all the background of Bible. For them it is not difficult to accept Christ at all. Just like that they have understood it. Because he is described in the Bible, in their books. He is described clearly that he is like this, he will be like this, he will be that. So they can put two together. His name is Mahavishnu, doesn't matter. So for them it is easier because they already have read it about it, but they don't want it. They don't want realization yet because they are still developing countries. While you want it, but your ego is so developed, you are just questioning it. So that's what he can't understand. I mean, they don't question me. If they are seekers, they just want it, that's all. Finished. Thousands, 6,000 people coming just from all the villages, they come by bullock carts, this, that, they get realization. 6,000 people, you can see very clear.
I was just seeing public cars.
Very simple people. Here it is, this is the problem, is that you question all the time, question. You don't want, you want realization, still you question.
Is that the fault of our education?
I don't know, whatever it is, I don't want to blame anything. But it is true, I mean, because you have had no education about it also. I mean, you don't know what it is. That's what I said. Bible you understand so narrowly, it's so deep. To say only that is Alpha and Omega. Now what do you mean by that? There's a big mantra on that. Sabandha, Ganeshacha mantra म्हणून दाखवा. He'll say the whole thing, what describes Christ, now you listen to it. Atharva Shirsha Matra. Complete, this is the description. See now.
That is the description of Lord Jesus. Om Tvameva Pratyaksham Tatvamasi Tvameva Kevalam Kartasi Tvameva Kevalam Dhartasi Tvameva Sarvadam Khalvidam Brahmasi Tvam Sakshat Atmasi Nityam Pratam Vachmi Satyam Vachmi Avaktam Mam Avavaktaram Avashrotaram Avadhataram Avamanucharam Avapashyatat
These are the aspects and the powers.
Avapurastat Avachodhvaratat Avadharatat Sarvato Mam Pahi Pahi Samantat Tvam Vangmayas Tvam Chinmayas Tvam Anandamayas Tvam Brahmamayas Tvam Satchidanandat Dvitiyosi Tvam Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvam Jnanamayo Vijnanamayosi Sarvam Jagaridam Tvatto Jayate Sarvam Jagaridam Tvattishthasri Sarvam Jagaridam Tvai Pratyeti Tvam Bhumirapo Naro Nilo Nabha Tvam Chatvari Vakpadani Tvam Gunatrayatita Tvam Dehatrayatita Tvam Kalatrayatita Tvam Mooladharasthitosi Nityam Tvam Shaktitrayatmakaha Tvam Yogino Dhyayanti Nityam सांगायचं का त्यांना अर्थ सांगायचा Tvam Yogino Dhyayanti Nityam.
All the yogis worship, meditate on you. So, I mean, so many. The whole description is what is Alpha Omega, Alpha and Omega. What does that mean? It's such a vague terminology. It's like saying, how do you go to Australia? London and Australia, finished. What does that mean?
Tvam Brahma, Tvam Vishnustam, Rudrastam, Indrastam, Agnistam, Vayustam, Suryastam, Chandramastam, Brahma Bhurvaswarom, Ganadim Purmavacharya, Varnadim Tadanantanam, Anuswarah Parataraha, Ardhendurasitam, Tarena Ruddham, Etatvamanuswarupam, Gakaro Suryarupam, Akaro Pururupam, Anuswarashchantarittarupam, Binduruttarupam, Nadasandhana Sandhisaishaha, Ganesha Vidya, Ganakarushi, Nichirud Gayatri Sandaha, Ganapatir Devata, Om Gam Ganapate Namaha, Ekadantāya Vidmahe, Vakratundāya Dhīmahi, Tanno Danti Prachodayat, Ekadantas Chaturhastam Pashamankushadharanam, Pradam Javaradam Hastaihi Vibhranam Ushakadvajam, Raktam Lambodaram Shurvarnakam Raktavasasam, Raktagandham Vittangam Raktapushpai Supujitam, Bhaktanukampinam Devam Jagatkaranam Achyutam, Avirbhutam Cha Srushtyaadau Prakrute Purushatmakam, Evam Dhyayati Yo Nityam Sayogi Yoginam Varaha, Namo Ratpate, Namo Prathamapate, Namaste Ganapate, Namaste Ganapate, Stulambodharaya Karantaya Vignanashine, Shri Shivasutaya Shri Varadamurtaye Namo Namaha, Sakshat Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. This is the description of.
This is one of the. There are thousands names, 1,000 names, from Alpha to Omega.
Now the translation,
Omega
if you
to
want to
Alpha.
know, it will take at least 2 hours to tell you the translation. So rather than getting the translation, I wish you should take the experience. And that is why in my earlier talk I requested that let the attention, your individual attention, which is outward, be inward, towards yourself, towards your kundalini, towards your chakras, and try to feel them. Try to find out where you feel your chakras. I requested you earlier, in the cross side, whether you feel the chakras outside, whether you can feel them in your spinal cord, which are the locations, can you feel them in your hand, Can you feel them in your head? Can you feel them in your feet? Try and feel. This is what I requested earlier and requested most of you to go into the meditation. And I found that some of you were so deep in meditation that had I desired to request them, can you say what has happened to you? I'm sure nobody would have been able to describe what sort of depth they had achieved. So in order to know that, one has to go deep into the meditation again and again and find out for themselves what they have achieved, what they have got, how do they feel it, where are the problems, how do they feel their problems, and how would they like to sort them out. So in order to give them a little opportunity to talk to the other Sahajogis, we had a break. Instead of half an hour, it went through more than 1 hour. And maybe some of them would have got their doubts to a certain extent sorted out. We thought that after that, you can again go into the meditation and feel for yourself what you feel. For all the Sahajogis who have been staying in this house, they know through and through how the divinity has been working through them and how they are decently, extraordinarily blessed by Mataji.
त्यांना हे सांगा की ही विद्या माताजींनीच तयार केलेली आहे, ही काही डिवाईन विद्या आहे, त्याच्यामुळे त्यांना सगळं माहिती आहे म्हणून ते डिकोड करू शकतात. कारण त्यांना काय प्रश्न आहे की या कशा सांगतात, म्हणजे मला ह्यांनी सगळं केलेलं आहे, स्पष्ट आहे, पण प्रत्येक गोष्टीचं उत्तर देता म्हणजे ते सांगतात जसं तसंच आहे, एक्झॅक्टली तेच आहे, म्हणून इट्स सो प्रॅक्टिकल म्हणतात ना तुम्ही, ते सांगून द्या. ते काच्यामुळे त्याला माहिती आहे तो करणार, सांगणार, असा प्रॉब्लेम आहे ना.
We have also found out that, as I had explained in my earlier talk, Mother, that we had also, like you, lots and lots of questions. But when we got it, there was no point in asking questions to the Mother. So maybe in the last 10 years, I might have asked probably only a few questions. Only a few questions just by the way. I don't think I have asked, because all my questions, if I put the same question to myself, I would get the answer by the grace of Mother. Because it is her power, it is Mataji's power that works out the opening of the chakras. It is Mataji's power which has helped us to feel the deities on each chakras. It is Mataji's power with which we learn to feel the Kundalini. It is Mataji's power with which we learned how to give an awakening to individual. And since for us it is an origination as Mataji, and for Mataji she has developed this science by herself. If she has developed it, she knows everything, and lucky enough she can answer any question also. But it is wise that I don't express myself so openly that what am I let me not be open to all the Sahajogis, because they know me. They know what are the chakras I am catching. They know what are the things I am catching. So let me not be so open. I would say that. So let us...
I'll give you an example like this. You see, just now, I think you can tell what happened about the flowers. You see, just a simple example yesterday. You see how the attention works. You just see, it's very simple.
Well, yesterday we had puja for Mataji, and as many of you will know, puja means worship. And it was New Year's Day in the Indian calendar, and it was a very special day, and we were worshipping Mataji as Sri Ganesh, because we in Australia have been blessed to be named the Muladhara Chakra. But in that worship, many of the things that we do in worship include such things as mantras, shlokas, various other things, but inclusive of flowers, of course, very important. And each one of us decided to put flowers at the feet of Mataji, making a beautiful array at her feet. And I asked Mataji on the way here, as driving along in the car, what are the flowers, Mother, that would be most acceptable at the feet on this special day of the beginning of the year and for Sri Ganesh? So she said, well, red flowers, pink or red flowers would be best. And then she looked out the window as we were driving along, and there were the hibiscus flowers everywhere. She said, they're the ones.
Jaba Kusum, they are called.
They've got another name in
The Sanskrit is called
Sanskrit.
Jaba Kusum is very much, Ganesha is always worshipped with Jaba Kusum.
And the hibiscus, there they were by the road.
And the Gauri also, the another was the Virgin. We worship Virgin and Ganesha. So they both like Jaba Kusum. It's a very famous thing in all the Indian scriptures. So I said this one Jaba Kusum is hibiscus.
So when we got here,
No,
we
he
said nothing.
He will tell them by phone. He said,
We said nothing.
no, but he did not tell. See what I'm saying? I told him better to inform them to get Jaba Kusum.
And when we got here, nothing was said, but later on in the puja, a very big basket of hibiscus flowers just arrived. Everybody had been out picking the hibiscus flowers. This is what is
And the
happening in
garland was
collective
made of-
consciousness.
Garland also was a
The garland was also made. Yes, this was absolutely spontaneous. So this is collective consciousness. As one person thinks, we all share, and we all get the same thoughts. This behoves us to be together in a positive atmosphere, and this means that we're all sharing and working it out. It's really beautiful.
It is the same attention. Your attention is enlightened now. It looks after. Like he asked me, what are the flowers which are auspicious? I said that way many are. You don't have all these flowers. And Begonia is one of them I was telling. But today, being Ganesha's and Gauri's day, is Jaba Kusum. It's a red flower. I said, this is the one. This one is the one. It's very good. He said, really? Then I must tell them to get it. I said, you better telephone to them. But there was no chance. When we came here, there was a garland of that, the whole thing of that. And they had only collected those flowers. I don't know what happened. They said, they just got it. Like this place you are occupying itself, you see. They had sold their house. They wanted to buy a big place. And to live there. So all of them wanted to live, you see. And they told about 200 people here, the property dealers, to get them a house, purchase or something. There were only 2 houses available at a very high price for sale. But they did not know how they managed that, you see. And then Meera, one of them, telephoned to me saying they have no house, nothing, they are very upset, this, that. She was so upset on the phone. So she said, what to do? I said, all right, you'll get it tomorrow. She was surprised I am not that precise as that. I said, but you'll get it tomorrow, now don't you worry. They really got this tomorrow. That's what happened. Really, the very next day they got it. And they were surprised how it happened. Suddenly they got it. And it's such a big place, you just don't get it on rents and things, just they got it. So it's only the attention, you see, that works out. But one should not ask for material things. It's better to ask for spiritual. See, material things are looked after just like that. No problem. But you must ask for really for the spiritual. And that is the best way. And as far as doubting is concerned, is a problem of ego. You see. And you doubt everything. But what do you doubt for? You see, the point. You see, because why? Why should there be doubt about me? Now let's think the other way around. I'm not a person who is floating any business. There's no possibility. My husband earns a lot of money and I come from a rich family. So money doesn't matter. My husband holds a very high position in life, so I don't want any position either. Alright. Thirdly, it could be that I'm running a political stunt or something like that, or working some political leader. So I have no identification with any political parties. So now why am I doing this? Plain and simple. What remains last is love. It's purely love. I mean, I do not take any advantage of it or credit of it or nothing. It's just love. Simple thing like that. Now what are you questioning? Do you go and question the sun? Why do you give us light? I mean, the way some of them ask me a question, why do you come to Australia? What is the need for you to do this? I mean, imagine. As if by coming to Australia I am taking away their lives, or what am I doing to them? Very rude, you see, some of them. I was surprised. Somebody comes to give you love, and to emancipate you, to give you the divine love. And that is how you treat, but it's better than crucifixion, so I do not mind, because I'm used to all kinds of things. But you better not miss the point by your ego, because you start doubting, thinking. It's nonsense. See, what he said, Nirvichar Samadhi, is very different from mesmerism. Mesmerism, what happens? That you just get lost. You have no powers in you. see, apart from the cool breeze, what happens when you get mesmerized? What happens? You feel for the person, you want to do anything for them. You give all the money, you give this, you want to do this and do that. You feel happy also, because there's somebody else who is working it out. To some extent you feel happy, to some extent. It's like getting drunk. But you lose all your power, you have no powers, you are not empowered with anything. You do not know what you are doing, why you are doing it. You cannot explain. There's no logic behind it. There's no knowledge behind it, nothing. You just do it because you are just driven into it. You are mad. That's what it is. You cannot explain. You cannot understand the chakras. You cannot say where it is catching. Nothing of the kind. There's no logic behind it. It's just a sort of an infatuation that you are just drawn into it without even controlling yourself. Here the control is complete. And the transformation starts. You start seeing the transformation coming into you. Absolutely. It transforms you. This is what it is. So firstly you have to know that I have nothing to earn from you. You have to learn from me. You have to get something from me. But most of your questions are barriers for your progress. Most of them are. So why do you want to be your own enemy? As it is, we have built up so many things by which we are destroying ourselves. And I have told you the destruction is going to come from within, not from without. So why do you want to do such a thing? You have to be kind to yourself and reconstruct yourself. And you'll be surprised at your own transformation. You become a different person altogether. But still, because of ego and superego, you stick on to the past. You just think, oh, I was an egg. Why should I become a chick? The question is just like this now. I am an egg, why should I become a chick? And when I become the chick also, we go on saying, still the shell is there, so we are struggling with the shells, breaking them. Better to break them out and come out of it, come out of that shell. This is what it is, and these shells can be very dangerous for the progress, very dangerous. So when I go away, I know this happens many a times, should not happen with me. But suddenly there will be a big attack from the negativity, big attack will come. Remember the day of your realization, the feeling of your realization. They are all standing around to attack. When a big attack comes, and one person starts murmuring, Christ has said about the murmuring source. Half-baked people just jump into it. You see, you just have now perched on the edge. So you are bending this side and that side equally. When I am there, you are bending that side. But when I go away, maybe you may just drop down. So first of all, stabilize yourself. That's what Modi is saying. Stabilize, stabilize, stabilize. You must stabilize yourself. If you stabilize yourself in full awareness, not that I like it and I like it. You should know what the chakra is catching. Face it. I like it, I'm in 7th heaven. All these fool's paradise are of no use to you. You have to face it as reality. See for yourself. Where is your chakra catching? What chakra is catching? How to cure it? How to put it right? And then you'll see you'll be top of the world. Really? It's very interesting. You're free of these worries and free of all these problems. Just now, your Sahasrara is catching. Just imagine. But this is the worst thing that should catch. Not everybody's, but of some people. By that, others are also catching. That's why people who are doubting type, who are negative type, we ask them to get out. Because we start sharing with them. That's why there's a problem. Now, as Modi has said, that for them it is very easy to know what I am. If they see the Kundalini rising, they know it's me. Well, it's written down very clearly, not in one book, but at least any book that has anything to do with Kundalini or anything to do with God. So they know. This is a very big handicap the Western people have. And they mourn Christ as they like. Because, you see, there's a way of doing it. It's an organized way of mourning. You see, like Seventh-day Adventists, Born Again Adventists, all sorts of things. Because the books that are written are not by realized souls. Now, even Bible was not written by Christ, for your information. Even Bible was not written by Christ. Somebody can say Gita is the last written. It was not written by Shri Krishna. None of them have written any book so far. Thank God for that. Because they would have changed those books and said this Krishna said and this Christ said. So what is the authority of Bible? If you say it is Christ, Christ has never written it. Finished. Now what is the authority of Christ? You will only know when you are realized. You just put your hands towards me and ask the question, was he the Son of God? And you will get the vibration. Because for Indians it is very difficult to accept Christ as Sri Ganesh, who is so powerful but that nobody can reach them and he was crucified. They cannot believe it. It's impossible for them to have such a miserable picture of Ganesha. They can't believe it. Moreover, the way we put Christ with his skeletons, see, it's impossible for these people to believe that such a powerful personality is put like this. Is all our own imagination about Christ. He was never miserable. He was a very healthy, hefty man. I always said he could be compared with any Australian. Only he has been properly envisaged and painted by Michelangelo, who was a realized soul in Sistine Chapel. He has shown a powerful man standing with a big stomach like that, throwing people here and there. And this is what one has to understand, that our conditioning has really narrowed us very low, and that narrowing has to be expanded. But thank God there is no organized religion in India. So they have made a mess out of it, but doesn't matter. They make fun of all the priests who come to their house, do any worship and all that. They treat them just like useless people because they know mantras, that's why they say. They have no respect as we respect our priests, no. These priests who come to us are also not realized souls. If they are not realized souls, then how can they talk about God? They can. What is their understanding? You see, whatever they have read in the theological college from other unrealized people, blind leading the blind into blind. Isn't it? So we have to see that there is knowledge much beyond our narrow vision. That's I had told you already. And with getting your realization, you jump into it in no time. As Modi has said that he does not have to ask me questions. It's true. The whole knowledge is within you. You just start putting your attention to that knowledge and you get the answer. Somebody asked me in Australia, all your disciples are they scholars? I said, what makes you think? They are so knowledgeable. I said, they have become knowledge, that's why. They are so knowledgeable. Even a little girl, Amanda, who is hardly, I think, what is her age? Is about 30. About 30. Oh, she speaks like a learned master. Really? Here she is. If you read her poem, you'll be surprised how beautifully she knows about things. So this is what should happen. But when you are mesmerized, you just go, Gaga, that's my guru, that's my this thing. You go on sitting like this, moving like this all the time, like a madcap. And if somebody talks to you, think that you are off your head. You are saying, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, like a madcap. Or somebody who is jumping in the thing. He says, what did you do? I did flying siddhis. You see, he can't keep his seat all right. And what flying is he going to do? Jumping in the air, mad. Really, I tell you, one boy, he came to us. We don't know, we have had experience in the experience. They just took my name and he jumped so far as that. He just can't look at me. He started growling and he was on. They said, what's the matter? He said, I can't look at mother. You see, she's just, I'm frightened of her. What are you frightened about? There's a bhoot in him which is frightened. All sorts of things we have had horrible. And they would come and scream in the ashram and this. So you see, people from these things come in and we get the bad name for nothing at all. Very true. This should not happen to this ashram, I beg of you. If you are screamy type, you finish all that, exhaust it at home and take on it. You see, we don't want to have a bad name for nothing at all here. People jumping. You see, all kinds of people come to here because it's an open thing. But they come here and start jumping and screaming and shouting and growling. The neighbors see us, they'll put a notice against us. That's exactly what happened, in London. We had to change our place. And they themselves live like recluses in their little ashrams and this and that, and they take out their clothes and jump and do all kinds of things. But we are decent, normal people. We live decently. And it is surprising the way they behave. It's so abnormal and obnoxious and horribly smelling. The body is smelling. It's too much. And we didn't know what to do with them. So we thought we should start another ashram for these people. And from there they are cleansed, they should come in. Because it was too much, and then the public really opposed us and we had a bad name. So we had to change our ashram. We went to another one, and there I put my foot down. I said, anybody starts screaming, ask them to get up. Or shouting. And they do not take baths for days together, and filthy people, dirty people. They call themselves yogis. They have no sense of cleanliness, anything. And no, they sleep. All the time, 24 hours they were sleeping, you see, and we were just feeding them like children, like a bottle being put a little while. Again they got to sleep. They sleep and sleep and sleep, and they paid thousands of pounds, you see, and they have taken to nothing but sleeping. 24 hours, you won't believe, for weeks together. Just sleeping, getting up a little bit in the morning, again taking some food, nibbling something, again sleeping. They go on sleeping, and they're mad people. They're mad actually, really mad. So I would say you must have been to all these people. Doesn't matter, you have spent money, whatever you have done, forget it. But please do not come here to sleep. Another to scream, and third to jump, and fourth to take out your clothes. You see? That's another thing we have faced. I have to request you for me. In a program in India, some people came, they started taking out their clothes. They first said, oh. I looked at them, what are they up to? And suddenly they started taking out their clothes and throw them out. And they went on the street and they took out their clothes and they were arrested. And everybody will say this happened in the Mataji's program. Really, I tell you, we have faced such horrible things that I must tell you. In England also it has happened. In England it has happened. All kinds of things. All sorts of funny people. When you go around, you don't know how many types of things you can. There's no end to it. One fellow just always used to come and go into tantrums. Like becoming a yogi, he used to breathe in, breathe out and make big sounds and all that. So now from where this madman has come? But he would not go. We told him, Baba, you go, whatever. I said, Baba, whatever you want, I'll tell you at home, you go home. Then he told me that once he was in war, somewhere he was caught, and then he escaped from the jail or whatever it is, from prison somewhere. And he came out and he hid himself in one of the cemeteries. One of the cemeteries somewhere. And in the cemetery, I think some Hatha yogi must have caught hold of him. And he said, I never done Hatha yoga. And his wife said, once he starts, he does it for 3 hours, 4 hours, he's just going, rumbling into it, tumbling into it. All the time he's doing like that. Now after 3 years, he's all right. Poor fellow. He used to vomit blood, do every sort of thing, but he could not get out of that kind of a thing. Now he's all right. Imagine 3 years. But he used to do like that. You see, so all these bhoots, all kinds of things, tricks they do. They'll just stand up, start shouting, become so abnormal. In Sahaja Yoga, you become very normal, extremely normal. All these abnormal things you have to give up. Please understand. Or if you believe in abnormality, Sahaja Yoga is not a place. You can go to any circus you want, but not here. There is no circus on. You have to be very normal, you have to dress up normally. There's no need to wear any particular dress or any brand or any band. It's in the heart. It's in the heart. It's in your Kundalini. It's not to show off. They look exactly like you, but immediately today I was coming in the car, looked around, I knew there's something, and there was a Sahaja Yogi who got his realization only 2 weeks back, and I saw him coming up. I knew. You see, if a Sahaja Yogi is there, you don't have to ask. You just reach there. who just reached there. Like when people came from England, I told these people they are coming. They didn't know the names or anything. They just walked into them and they walked into the direct vibrations. They know each other. Absolutely, they know this is a surgery. There's no need to. This knowledge that what is vibrating, what is not vibrating comes to use because it is built within. But just it is to be released, that's all. Of course, all these details that this center is felt in this and this and this and this and all these details that I have told you is not known to before. The reason is it was never told to them. As he said that I have done the job, so I know what it is. But even Brahma himself, the creator Brahma, the one who talked to some great seers, he said, I know up to a point, beyond that I don't know. So only when the primordial mother will come, she'll tell you, but up to a point I can tell you. That's the fact. But I am with you, I am your own, I am just like you, absolutely normal. And you can talk to me, and you can understand, it is intelligible, I speak your language. I mean, what more can we do? I mean, there cannot be anything more than that. But now that I am born in India, I have to be born somewhere. I am born a Christian, I have to be born in something. Everybody is branded, what to do? You may be born anywhere, you are branded as this and that and that. But this branding goes to such a limit that in India people feel that Christ was born in England. It's such a funny thing, I tell you. So it doesn't make difference to me where I was born, what I was this day. Everything was done deliberately, but I was born a Christian for particular reasons also. But that doesn't mean I'm a Christian in the real sense of the word. That what was Christ's religion? In the same way, you have no religion. You are beyond religion. Gunatit, dharmatit. That's it. Just now they described Christ. He is beyond dharma. He is beyond religion. He is beyond gunas, the moods. He is beyond it. So all these things to be done, understood. Because you are not here to profess something, but you are here to be something. Professing is a profession. But to be is your right, is what it should be. So if you have any questions, I have no objection. It's sensible questions should be there, nice, because that's how I know your problems.
I'm just going to tell you an experience of innocence of children. On Friday, my little nephew, who had never seen you before, you kissed him 3 times on the head. When I got home, he asked me, could he have some water to drink? And my little niece, who hasn't seen you, and I gave them the drink of the water you energized. And they started to laugh. I said, what's funny? And they said, it's tickling my stomach. The next day, I put on a tape of you on the radio so my sister can hear it. And he was watching TV in the lounge room. He came straight into the kitchen where it was being played and said straight away, I think you should put on a candle.
Children know me too well. You see, these are realized souls. Like first time we had a boy from, of course, I mean in India I can understand, but in England we had a boy called Kevin, and he had a very miserable childhood. And he came with his father. He was hardly about 5-6 years of age, you see. And he came, you see, like a Roman, he stood before me like this. And just came and stood, Mother, I bow to you. And like that he went on. People couldn't understand. He said, what are you doing? You're standing like this. Sit down, sit down. Bow, bow, bow. Everybody. He started hitting everybody on the head. And then there was I have a staircase. I had a staircase to go. He said, there is no red carpet or anything. Better spread. He brought one small carpet, threw it down there. And he said, Mother, now. And the way he was humble and everything, the whole thing was, you see, it's remarkable. And they were surprised. He used to say, what are you doing? Where are you looking? Come along, see. I mean, the way he was seeing the whole thing is a great surgery we have got in London. There are many like that. There are some Muslim little boys who are very good. So many of them. Like my own grandchildren are realized souls. childhood, you see, when they were very small, early in the morning, they would be like puppies near my feet, you see. So my husband would say that, what is this in the morning time? They are hugging onto your feet, and so they said, we are sucking the cool breeze, you see. She couldn't understand sucking the cool breeze and all that. But they are so sensitive. One day my maid put my sari on the ground. Immediately the younger one came, lifted it up. She put it there. Can't you see whose sari is this? My grandma's. Who knows you? Do you know who she is? What do you mean by putting on the ground? All gods will be angry with you. She picked it up, put it to her eyes. She said, no, don't do it again. I'm telling you. She was hardly 3 years. Hardly 3 years.
You recognised a child the other day who you said was born realised. What is the role of a parent of such a child who can also be very naughty and very difficult on occasions?
Yes, they can be, because you see, you don't understand them, so they play pranks and tricks on you. You see, so best thing is to get realized, bring them to the ashram here,
yes,
and then they will start. You see, because they cannot manifest their realization, so then they get naughty with the parents. You see, they really get naughty with the parents. They don't know what to do with them. Like my own granddaughter, eldest one, she told me one day very seriously that you are after all the goddess I know, mother, grandmother, but one thing is there. Can you do some mistakes in life? I said, why? He said, there's one thing I don't understand. Why did you give realization to my mother when she was born? Now she's very difficult for me. I said, really? Yes, she said, now she's become hard. It's difficult. But in childhood you should have given realization. But I said, you must ask. Not for children. It's all right for older people that they should ask. But for children, you could have given a realization, would have been much better for me. Now she's very hard. So on their side, they cannot understand. Now your infatuation with Indira Gandhi is over or not? You better go to India. I tell you, no. I will tell you, for Indira Gandhi, you better go to India, take a house there, and stay with her. It's a good idea. What are you going to gain from me? I have nothing to do with that.
I've asked you a number of questions and you've answered them very, very well, but I still have 2 or 3 remaining ones, if I can ask you. Well, if I could just read the question out. It's not an easy one.
Are you my examiner? Then what?
I'm not a journalist, I just...
No, but what am I saying? Why are you asking me questions? In what relationship?
I'd really be happy to know the answer.
But why? Well, what right have you got to know the answers from me? First of all, let's see this part.
Sure.
All right?
Yes, I understand that.
So, you see, this is it. That the way you are taking the time, then if it is something to do with Sahajog, I don't mind answering.
Fine.
But you ask me questions like Indira Gandhi, like the other day they were taking a TV thing with me. One man who had taken a photograph of Jawaharlal Nehru about 25 years back. But I don't know how, he was carrying lots of photographs with him. I don't know what he is. Suddenly he saw me, came rushing to me, stop. And I was busy with the TV person. I thought he must be something to do with the TV. I thought she's the one who is calling. So I stopped. He came, he opened his bag. You see, they are all preoccupied with their things, whatever it is. Why involve me, poor thing? See, and he opened it and he said, now, you must wait. I thought he has something to do with this lady. So I didn't know that he done nothing. Just wait. I have to tell you something very important. I said, why me? I said, no, you only, because you are in India. He took out a very old photograph of Jawaharlal ji and he said, see, this is the photograph, one of the photographs I have. So I asked this lady, is it your program? TV? She said, no, I have nothing to do. So I said, why is he asking me? And he took half an hour for that only. And this lady thought that I know him. So this is it. So you see what I am saying, you are here for realization. If you want to take realization, you take it. But why do you want to ask me questions which are irrelevant to this program? Alright? If there is something relevant with it, I don't mind. But there is no relevant. Is there anything relevant?
There is one question.
Alright, thanks.
Just one.
So we reduced out of 3 to 1. I hope it is relevant.
Fine. You speak out against public display of embrace and kisses between the sexes. Yet I've seen you spontaneously embrace females in your own audience. Can you explain that at all?
You see, that I must tell. Embrace is very good, but you must embrace your own sex, is your women. You see, in India, if you tell anyone homosexuals, they don't understand. You see, even Modi or anyone, they are educated. But we don't understand. You see, this is your brains have gone this far. For us, we have no idea as to what is this between women and men. We don't understand. You see, women, we always sleep with women, live together. We have no such problem. You see, our brains are not so developed. So we really don't understand. We are too stupid to understand that. You see, and I was we not only that, but supposing now Raulbai has come with me. She won't sleep in my bed because I am the goddess or something. But any woman sleeps with any woman and hundreds of them sleep together. We have no problem. But we'll never take bath in the presence of each other. You see, embracing a child is very important and loving a child is even more important. Alright? But not an elder man than me just embracing. That's not done. Not done.
Cuddling in the street.
Cuddling on the street is embarrassing. You know, cuddling on the streets. I'm going to the divorce case later on.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Alright?
Thank you.
So this is all absurd ideas. You will also get rid of them. This is some sort of a wave that has come. That you become homosexual and this and that. I mean, still I do not understand. I cannot understand it. It doesn't go into my brain. But even Modi said he doesn't understand. And I asked her, she was quite shocked. She said, what? Moreover, they are shocked when you take baths together. They just can't understand how men can take baths together. They just can't understand. I mean, you see, we are so simple that I'll tell you, when my husband was first Secretary General there, I mean, he used to embrace all of them, and all of them do embrace, even the Arabs and all the Eastern people embrace each other. But I told him, do you know this? After 3 years, he said, God, really? I didn't know. He said, they used to be suddenly shocked. I didn't know why. It's surprising, actually, really, how we are. Do you brand everybody as homosexual? You mean every woman is homosexual or what? No. But what do you do? I mean, when you say that? I mean, I'm just saying that if a woman holds anybody's hand, do you condemn both of them as homosexuals? Is it? No, I mean, I'm just wanting to know.
Yes, it happens a lot here.
Huh? According to you, every woman is homosexual?
No, not according to me.
No, according to the...
According to public people.
Yes, is it?
Yeah.
Every woman is?
I think that...
Really? Every woman is according to you?
No, not according to us.
No, but according to the public of Australia.
To a lot of extent. To a great extent. If I walk down the street and I hold Gay's hand because I love her, because she's my friend and I love her, then people look and they say, why are these two women holding hands? They must have some relationship that is bad.
Naturally, you are not going to hold your dog's hand?
Depends whether it's exhibition or not.
No, it doesn't. No, because I really like holding my girlfriend's hands. I really like walking down the street.
I mean, it is natural.
Yeah, it's natural.
And you feel better with a girlfriend than a man, you know? Isn't it? A girl would like to hold a girl's hand and a man should like to hold a man's hand. It's natural. Absolutely.
It's not common here.
You see, and we don't touch any man in India.
But in India, everybody walks. The men walk hand in hand and the women walk hand in hand. It's good.
Yes, but you see, there is something certain understanding in the upbringing. I think it may be our good conditioning that, you see, if a younger person, say for example, you're much younger to me or somebody much younger to me, is like my brother-in-law or something, he can touch me and I can touch him because he's like my brother. You see, he's younger to me. But a person who's older than me, I'm not supposed to touch, neither he will touch, never. Even as a goddess, he will not. He will touch my feet. That's all. They will not touch my body. It's done like that. It's accepted. We don't understand these things, you know. First thing I discovered in London, this thing, when we had a visitor just came to correct the gas. Now imagine a person like me, so ignorant, and my 2 servants. The elder one was 75, another was about 35. Poor things, they were busy with a man who came, young man, they were talking to him just like they would talk to any young man. They're teasing, let's go to London, we'll go together and then we'll enjoy very much. And the old man was, as they teach in India, they was teasing him like this, like that. See, we do like this to younger people. And They were very natural, you see. This man went and reported to the fellow and they telephoned to me. You better tell your servants to behave themselves. They are little funny type. They try to... I said, what? Why will they do it? I just couldn't understand. You see, to ask the servants what happened. He said, nothing. We were just joking with him and enjoying him and all that. Still, I did not understand. I had a Sahajogi there, you see. That was Gregor, the Swiss fellow, you see. And I told him, what is he saying? I don't follow. What is his complaint? I don't understand. So his face went red, you see. He said, shut up, you. Don't give ideas. They don't understand these things. I said, what happened? Mother, I can't tell you. I'm sorry, I can't tell you. But you see, what happened? What did these people do? I must correct them. They did not do anything. It is the head of that fellow was wrong. But I said, what happened? You tell me. So he called my neighbor who was an English lady and he told her what had happened. So she came, gave me 1 hour's lecture on this. She said, in this country, there are homosexuals. I said, what is this? What did they do? I did not know. The poor thing, I broke her completely. As you are asking me questions, I asked a question. So she told me all this story about it. And she told that you better tell your servants that they should not touch any man who comes here. So I called both the servants and told them, you should not touch any man who comes to see you. Because I was half-raised myself. So they said, why? Are they women that we should not touch them? Only women are not to be touched in India. But they are men. Are they women? I said, they are in the dress of men, they are women. So don't touch them. They didn't know how to understand. They said, are they women that we should not touch them? And they couldn't understand this thing when I said that you should not touch them. Are they women? I said, just to explain, they are men to look at, but they are women. So don't touch them. Now, do you understand? How can you believe? I said, all right, don't believe it, but I'm telling you not to touch them. That's all. I cannot tell you anymore. They started wondering, what's the matter with the lady?
Is there no homosexuality in India?
No, nobody is conscious of it. You see, maybe some mad camps might be doing. You see, we have mad people also, we have lunatic asylums, we have everything. But not to this extent. I had never heard of these things before. I didn't know what it is.
Very rare.
Very rare. They don't understand these things. You see, it's a very different upbringing altogether. Women will sit together, men will sit together. There's nothing like that. We do not understand these things at all.
I can't understand anything wrong with a man and woman, holding hands or arm in arm down the street. Is this just perhaps a cultural difference? Because I'm sure there's...
You see, you are being conditioned like that. You see, that's why. It is conditioning. What is wrong? You hold somebody's hand, do you think? Hand somebody's hand, what will go wrong with you? I just can't understand still. By touching anybody, what is going to happen? See, he's a man, you are a man. I can't...
No, he's asking if a man and a woman hold hands, what's wrong with it?
No, of course, a man and woman is not good. Because if the man is then there is no morality. What is it? If you hold any man's hand, see, why should you hold? Only you should hold the hands of younger people where there's no question of sex or anything. Then anybody can hold anybody's hand. See, there should be certain limits about things. You see, we do not hold anybody's hand in India, women. Only with women or with smaller people. You see, we never hold hands like that. But the girl, you see, if there's a woman walking, she will hold hands always. We'll never go separate. We'll always walk with holding hands because it's easier. If you are crossing or something, you know each other, you can tell, communicate. But you do not only communicate sex, This is the trouble. How can you communicate sex to a woman? I still don't understand it, to be very frank with you. That's some sort of conditioning. It's little conditioning.
We've destroyed the quality of innocence because we're so scared about what people are going to say. If we touch somebody or something, we're so
That's
scared.
it. You see, my child, this is the thing.
Say,
Nothing wrong.
We have such culture is so down at the moment.
That's you have said it. Really, that is. Even, sometimes a man touches us, we do not feel so startled. But normally we don't touch men who are older than us. And the men who do not touch girls who are younger than them. But very young girls they will. You see, you'll be amazed. Now my husband, you have seen him. My daughter sleep with him in the same bed. And I sleep with my son-in-laws if they are there. We never get sex ideas at all in our heads. It never goes. You see, it never comes. I don't know from where this idea comes. When you are with your father, you don't get ideas of sex.
I think there's a couple of good reasons reasons for holding on to a girl, even if for a start, there are some rough people around.
Then this is better.
If your girlfriend walks 2 paces to that side, in the wrong street, you'll get some mug coming along and, whispering, making a fuss to her. If you hold on to her, you're saying...
Yes, that is it. Then there is no harm at all. You see, and that's what I'm saying. It is a protection. It is a protection. I mean, that's the only idea comes to my mind. No, unnecessarily if you are holding on to man, it doesn't look nice. It is indecent. But what I'm saying, if for women, when they are walking, they always hold hands. Because they need all the time protection. They should know. They in a group they live. Not. You see, it's a very different attitude. I mean, I don't know. We will take at least 100 years to develop somewhere near. But I don't know. It's something that is overdeveloped. I think that's what is true. Is innocence is lost. That's why in innocence, you see, don't feel all these things. I mean, never comes to our head. Never. You see, all the time people are flirting. This man is flirting with that woman, that one. It's all the time it's madness, I tell you. Don't you go mad with this? On the street you are flirting, you go out you are flirting, you are seeing something you are flirting, in a group you are... Arey Baba, you will go mad, I tell you really. Seeing you, I feel funny. It's exhausting, I tell you. I mean, why do you flirt? What is the joy? Well, there's no joy in flirting at all. What is it? Just think about it. What is the joy? I mean, you were seeing somebody like this and seeing another one, like a poster hanging in the walls. You see, must see every poster, you go on like that. I just can't understand this matter. She felt I'm really exhausted. She brought something. No, but it's true. It's not logical, isn't it?
But there is joy. What is the core? Is it a bootliness? Is it weakness?
Because
I do enjoy looking at all the is this a boot or is this a lack of control?
You see what I have found that when my Western surgery, some of them, they said it's a boot. I said, how do you know? He said, we experimented with it. I said, how? One of them said, you see, one of them said that I was just standing and suddenly I felt I must look back. And then I looked back and there was a woman standing. So I said, really? Then I said it was that she had a bhoot in her and I had a bhoot and they had a nice talk to each other. So they enjoyed each other and like a fool we turned around, both of us looked at each other blank. And while they were enjoying, that's what they said, we have experimented why this happens. And the only way to get out of it is to put your eyes on the Mother Earth. Just Mother Earth. She takes away all these boots into her. It's really horrible, and that's how you get troubles. So many troubles you get of your attention. See, imagine, I mean, it is unimaginable also. About say 100 years back, if somebody had told you that you have to all the time see like this, I mean, it's maddening, isn't it? I mean, your attention wobbling all the time. Just think of it. It's so logical. But the basics are missing. Like I was telling you that in India, from childhood, the parents will say, where is your attention? Chitta kute. Where is your attention? See, that is never said here. Where is your attention? So you have to keep your mind on the attention. Where is it going? See, so Chitta Nirodha is the basis of Indian life. Because we are brought up like that. Even if you do wrong, we know it is wrong. It's bad. You see, that attention is to be controlled is not here. Because you have ego orientation. What's wrong? Then wherever attention goes, it gathers all the rubbish, isn't it? Like English came to all over the places. They tried to rule them. They carried all the scum with them and now they are worried about their migration, immigration. Why did you go? Who asked you to go to other countries? It is like that. When you put your attention to something, you get back all the rest. So the attention should be first of all stabilized. Attention has to be respected. See, our attention to be very, very respected. Why should we put it to anyone? I mean, it's not dignified. It looks so funny, everybody looking at you like this. It's very embarrassing. You feel very self-conscious. I mean, you don't understand what's wrong with you, the way people are looking at you like that. It is, I think. It is funny. For people like us, who are not used to this kind of thing. One Indian lady said, what are they doing? I said, they are flirting. She said, what is that? I said, that's a system. I said, what system is that? She said, they are trying to enjoy, you see. But she said, how can you enjoy? Whatever is your own, you should enjoy. You should enjoy your wife. What's the use of enjoying such people? You never enjoy. Yes, it is true. जो आपकी चीज है, whatever is your thing, you should enjoy your thing. How can you enjoy somebody else's thing? I said they enjoy with their mental. This is the thing. And that's how our mind has become nothing but sex point. Just see where are we reduced to. Just think of it. You are saints. That's why Christ has pointed out. I imagine Christian nations are doing the most of all. We never knew of adulterous eyes. He is the one who said that thou shalt not have adulterous eyes. So the Christians said, all right, we'll have them. They fixed them up properly. Whatever he said, they do just they ordered for it to get adulterous eyes. Same, just like in India. It is said that everybody has got the spirit. Now how can you have caste system in India? But they made caste. You see, actually what they said is the aptitude of a person. If you are a person who is a seeker, is a Brahmin. If you are a warrior or you are seeking power, then you are a Kshatriya. Like that they made up to as your aptitude. It's born with aptitude. Here they made it according to your birth. How can that be? And they said it is written in the Gita. They have changed it. They have changed the Gita completely. Because the one who has written the Gita was himself an illegitimate child of a fisherwoman. How can he say? The proof is like this. How can he say that you are born a Brahmin? They have changed it. They said you are born. And if these are the Brahmins, God save us. These are the devils, calling themselves Brahmin. Most of the Brahmins in India are devils. Absolutely devils. Most of them. Don't say this to Indira Gandhi, otherwise she's also Brahmin, you know. I mean, all of...
Village people love her.
No. I'm not saying we love her, but I'm saying that I don't say that all the Brahmins, but so many Brahmins are.
Sure, yeah.
I do not want to have anything to do with the politics, alright? So keep me out.
I understand.
Can we learn to clear our own chakras?
Huh?
Can we learn to clear our own chakras?
Of course, that's the power you have. That is self-realization. You start realizing what is in you. You do. All of them are clearing out. That's a very good question. And you do. You can. That is what you are empowered to cure your own chakras and chakras of others.
How?
Yeah, how?
Modi will tell you. Modi will tell you because I have never cleared my chakras. It's better to hear from here how he has done it. You see, some of these problems I never had. You see, so even to tell this is not easy. फोटोपासनं कसं वापरायचं, कसं फोटोमध्ये वापरायचं, कसे व्हायब्रेशन द्यायचे, कुठे चक्रा जातं, असे हात करून बघितलं तरी दिसतं, तुम्हाला कळतं काय घडतंय ते. हळूहळू सेन्सिटिव्हिटी वाढली की तुम्हाला तसं दिसेल फोटोशिवाय. फोटोमध्ये कसे कोएफिशियंट्स आहेत, त्याच्यातून कसे व्हायब्रेशन असं मग त्यांनी कसं वाटतं असं ग्रॅज्युअली उतरलं मी स्लोली करते.
We covered some subject on this in the first lecture when I spoke to them first. त्याला थोडं कव्हर केलं याच्यातलं.
अच्छा.
थोडंसं कव्हर केलं.
पण आता they were not, all of them were not there. You were not there, all of you.
Now, how to clear the chakras was a very important question, and
आणि कलेक्टिव्हिटीचं सांगा, कलेक्टिव्हली यायला पाहिजे.
I expressed it. I'll just narrate what I said earlier to those who were not present, so that you can catch up to that table. When you meditate, it is the inwardness of your attention. When you go into meditation, I mean to say, this is from the Sahaja Yoga point of view. I have no controversies as far as I am concerned. So I imagine that you also have no controversies. Now, when you meditate, or we meditate in Sahaja Yoga, our attention is inwards, towards ourselves in Kundalini.
It is automatically there.
It is an automatic thing. Nothing has to be done. It automatically happens everywhere.
Because the happening is there inside. Because the Kundalini is working it out. That's why your attention is attracted. After realization, you can go inside. You can see somewhere heaviness, somewhere. You can even now feel it.
Second point I had suggested earlier was to feel the Kundalini. I said you put down your both the hands towards the photograph because Mataji was not there that time. Now Mataji is also here. All of you can put down your hands like that. You will feel that the cool breeze is coming. Now when the cool breeze is coming to you, even if your eyes are open, by looking at your hands, you will come to know that the cool breeze is coming in my hand, okay. But there are how many centers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this one, 8. As many centers are as that. Now you identify on which chakras are you getting cool vibrations.
Put your hand straight. Like this.
If you put your hands, you will come to know on which hands.
पहिल्यांदा हात कोणचा आहे तो बघा.
You have to put both the hands. You have to see whether on left hand you are getting vibrations or on right hand you are getting vibrations.
Or both the hands.
Or both the hands you are getting cool vibrations.
Or which is more, which is less. You see for yourself.
In which hand you are getting more vibrations, in which hand you are getting less vibrations.
Does vibrations mean the same as
Cool breeze?
Cool breeze,
Yes, of
I mean
course.
to say.
Not tingling or anything. No.
If somebody is getting still hot sensation, then that means
After some time it will improve.
it will improve, but that I will explain it to you subsequently because that is another side to be explained little later on. So once you start feeling, now supposing on this chakra, that is on this finger, if some of you are not getting vibrations as much as you are getting over here, then there is something wrong with this particular chakra. Okay. In order that you should have the balance in both the hands, what we do is a little exercise. It's a just.
जे पहिल्यांदा हातात येत नसेल ते फोटो काढून देऊन मग फिरवायचं. ते नको सध्या. नुसतं असं डावीकडे घालायचा हात. त्यानं त्यांचं एवढं बॅलन्स म्हणजे अति बॅलन्स आहे. डावीकडे हात घालायचा, उजवा हात बाहेर ठेवायचा. तर डावी धरली असेल, डावीकडे करले असेल फोटोवरती. ते लेटर ऑन मग दुसरं आहे. पण सध्या टू बिगिन विथ बॅलन्स घ्यायचा आणि नंतर मग चढवून घ्यायची लेफ्टला आणि उजवीकडनं उतरवायची.
Now, supposing in one of the hands you are not getting cool vibrations, as much as in another hand. The hand in which you are not getting enough vibrations should be drawn out of the window, towards the window.
ज्याच्यात नाही ते फोटोकडे.
आणि ज्याच्यात नाही
ज्याच्यात नाही येत, ज्याच्यात नाही येत
तो बाहेर.
हो, तर तुम्ही उलट सांगून राहिले. ज्याच्यात येत नाही तो फोटोकडे. इट्स कन्फ्युज. नाही समजले ना. In Marathi is different and in English it is different. So,
see, in one hand, supposing in the left hand you are not getting vibrations.
So you put towards the photograph.
That hand should
you
go
have to get more vibration.
Like that. Supposing the left hand you are not getting enough vibrations. So you put left hand towards the mother. Okay? If you are not getting in the right hand,
just now I am sitting, so you put towards
then you put right hand. Whichever hand you are not getting enough vibrations out of the two.
असं सांगा.
The one which is carrying less vibrations, you should put it towards the mother. Like that.
Is correct.
Then another hand, you just either put it, since you are in a room, you can put it like that up.
Straight. Another one. Add back like this, not towards.
So that it cannot be towards mother. No, not like that. It should be like that.
Back.
That's it. So this way,
the one which is getting less should be towards the photograph. And the one which is getting more should be at the back.
There's a breeze coming in.
Well,
there's lots of cool vibrations coming in.
This is where this is exactly where you have got to develop your sensitivity. This is where you have got to develop your. No, not that way. This way.
You feel it. You feel the wind inside your hand as well. Then you can differentiate between the external wind
and what is coming through the vibrations. Both you can differentiate.
Afterwards, even if you are in the wind, you will know what is which. You see, just develop a little.
So this exercise for a while.
Now there is no wind much coming actually. Just close the door, let's see. It's better. So we used to put off all the air conditioners, you see, in the hall for the same reason. Just close it, I think. Just.
It's difficult, Mother. People are sitting against it.
It's closed. It's
Let
all
them
right.
inside. New people should come. You come in.
It's all right. You can wait outside for a
Some-
while.
some-
Doesn't matter. It's all right.
Some people who are Mataji
Hey,
cannot.
who know that? Come from this side. Come along from this side. They are all Sahaj Yogis, aren't they? Yes, they can come from this side. All right. They are all Sahaj Yogis. They have been with us. Poor Sahaj Yogis are thrown out. And you are inside. They are very sensible. They understand.
Now with this,
Now see. Now, are you
you
feeling?
again put now both the hands towards mother.
Now see.
Whether you are getting equal vibrations in both the hands. If you get equal vibrations, then that is an ideal situation. Now you can see in which particular finger there is either heaviness, tingling sensation, burning sensation, or itching,
Or numbness.
or numbness.
You have to develop the sensitivity. You see, just now because you have realized, most of the time you'll be feeling vibrations also. But then gradually the Kundalini goes there and points it out. You see, then you start feeling. Now see, where do you feel the heaviness? Yes, that's it. If you are feeling there on these fingers, that means the left side is feeling.
Now supposing, now I will have to give you
It's clear out.
some examples at random, you see. I will give you some examples at random.
If the whole of the hand is catching, then better to put another hand up like that. It clears out much more faster. You put right hand up there. Faster. The left will clear out. Just like this. You see, it's like a chimney going out. Now it's better.
Yeah.
Put your hand like this, like this. You see, so the outlet is there. If both hands are towards me, then there's no outlet. So you put one hand towards me. This is the outlet. See, some people now. Then one hand clears out much faster.
The hand that catches you put
Yes,
towards you.
the hand that catches and has less vibrations, all that. Catches more, put it towards me.
I always get a numbness and a tingling in my little finger.
There. Move on. Been to some. You've been to some.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, lots. This is Anik's friend.
Huh?
This is Anik's friend. Anik from Paris.
I know. It's all right. That's an indication. Watch it. With the good idea. Now, once it is cleared out, now you see your. Now there.
Then it's gone.
Well, it's gone. Now this one is, where is it?
That one?
Huh? It's all right.
Yeah, it's very balanced.
Now see, only in Sahasrara, this is the point where two are. It's very important to know that the right side goes to the left and left goes to the right. You see, mostly right hand catching means your ego is catching. And the left side catching
Explain karo then.
is the super ego catching. Alright? So he will explain to me after that. Now I think you should sit more relaxed. I'll go inside and he'll tell you everything into details what is to be done. Alright? For a while. Why don't they come out from there? Maybe so good and I'll come after the surgery. Now sit relaxed. You sit down. Relax, move out a little and he'll explain to you all of it.